hear your testimony if you don't have anything that connects you or ties you to their experience. So when you have a relationship with God, there has to always be connection to an event or a pain or something that brings you to God. There's for me, I mean, some people, I don't know, there are people, I guess, that just automatically say, I'm going to follow God. But I had to get to a place where I was so broken and I was tired of fixing things for myself, and I knew that I couldn't do it. I couldn't do anything else. I have done everything in my arsenal, everything that I knew how to do, and I reached a point called there that it was like, you know what, God, if you can't do this, nobody else can do it, because I can't do it on my own. It's a point of submission, and submission is the dirtiest word ever. Like, I hated that word so bad when I first got into the church. They were like, you have to submit to your husband. I'm like, I work every day. I make just as much money as he does. I'm a partner in this marriage, and I'm not submitting to nobody. I don't care who you are. And over the years, I've learned that submission is a beautiful thing, because when you're under the covering of someone, you are protected, and it's the best umbrella you can ever have. To be under submission to God, to be under submission to your husband, your pastor, it's not what people think it is. It's just saying, I trust you to protect me and to make decisions for my life that are for my benefit. I trust you. That submission is just as simple as that. I trust you. And it's so hard. That is like the biggest commitment ever, to allow somebody else to take control of your life and a trust that they're going to do what's best for you. Now, I mean, you're not going to go blindly into the night, but in order to get to where you need to be, you have to trust that God is able to get you there. And although what he's telling you to do, you may be afraid of, you may not like it, it might not feel good, but the end result is something great. So rule number 5 is you have to be willing and able to submit to see God's glory in your life. When I think about my relationship with God, I think of Evel Knievel. I know a lot of you people are so young that you don't even remember who he was, but he was this great stuntsman, and he would take a motorcycle and jump over many, many cars. I mean, I don't know, you might liken it to Ghost Rider. He was a stunt person on the tour. He would go across the country and jump over airplanes and do all these death-defying feats. And that's how I view God. Every time that you trust him, he goes bigger, just to see and challenge you and see if you're going to believe him for more. And that is such a cool thing, because you're always getting something new. You're stretching, and God reveals the very best parts of you through this process, and he reveals himself to you. Your relationship gets closer, and you're willing to trust him, and you're in expectation of what's going to happen next. And it's almost like you're watching with expectation on Christmas Eve to see what amazing thing God is going to do next. It's just so amazing to see what he can turn a piece of cloth into this amazing garment. It's you're being woven little piece by piece. When you crochet a blanket, you see one line and it just looks like a little line of string, but as you connect each line and you do the intricate designs, it comes out this beautiful masterpiece. And we are God's masterpiece, and he continues to grow us and stretch us. As long as we allow him and we're open to what he's doing in our lives, he will do more and more and more. And that leads me to rule number 6. Our final rule for being in relationship with God. God only reveals things in part. He knows that our ability to handle everything at one time is limited, and we become overwhelmed at the big picture. So he gives us what we can handle at the time. I liken it to the movie A Few Good Men, and when Jack Nicholson says, "You can't handle the truth." A lot of times we can't handle the truth because it's too big. It's like trying to eat an elephant at one time. But if you eat the elephant one bite at a time, eventually the elephant will be gone. He likes to get you on the hook. And when you see him do a couple of little things, you have this expectation of what's next. Okay, if I do this, what is he going to do? And you are at the mercy of his next steps, and you become dependent. And when you're dependent on God, you become usable, you're pliable, you can grow, you can stretch, you can learn. And he knows that he can trust you with the things of God. And that's why having a great prayer life is so important in these instances. So as we wrap this up this week, I wanted to say that the other day in prayer, a pastor, he had a simple thought. It was that God is committed to you. He's committed to your dreams, your thoughts, your wishes, your prayers, everything. He's committed to you when everybody leaves you, when you're feeling alone. He's committed. He's always there in it with you. He is a partner that sticks closer than a brother. When you're in relationship with God, there's no other place to be, no better place to be. I know there'll be hard times, there'll be bad times, but it's so much easier when you're in it with God. He gives you a peace in the storm. So I challenge you to move past just religion, looking like everybody else, going to church every week, routine. Have a God experience, build a relationship, and watch how your life changes. Allow him to be a partner in your life. Don't just want a co-signer on your life. Don't bring your little dreams and your little problems to God to say, I'm going to fix it this way. Is it okay? Bring it to him and say, you know what? I have these things and I don't know what to do with them. I need your help. And he'll begin to talk to you, and he'll begin to help you do these things. And you'll become so much happier in a relationship and more fulfilled. We were built with a God-shaped hole that only he can fill with his relationship with you. And when you have that relationship, you don't need anything else. Everything else on top of that relationship is gravy. So as you go through this week, I want you to stop thinking about religion and start thinking about relationship. God bless you, my friends. Until we meet again, be blessed and prosper. Take care.